We have the latest Social Security increase info coming out for 2026. Take a look. Social Security increase, the latest COLA prediction, as we have new information of how much of a bigger Social Security check you'll get for 2026. I'll go over those numbers. Also, Senator Chuck Grassley is not having a good day talking about Social Security.
Or do anything else is to stand up for the people in this country.
Yes.
We've all paid into our Social Security.
Yes.
Our employers paid into it. We paid into Medicare. Stop the use of the word entitlement. That would be one step that if you just use the right language, this is not an entitlement. We're not getting this because we exist. We're getting it because of the faith we put in the country, the Treasury, every legislator, that we would pay into our Social Security. We would have it when we retired. We paid into Medicare.
If you're asking me if we're going to cut Social Security, no.
I'm going to play you that full video clip, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So, Democrats seek to probe DOJ's Social Security meddling. So House Democrats are pressing the Social Security Administration's Inspector General to open a probe into DOJ's tinkering with the agency. I thought it was all public information anyway, but I guess not. So why it matters? So Social Security is an extremely sensitive issue that touches upon the financial security of millions of older Americans, a particularly politically active group. As such, congressional Democrats have already honed in on one topic in ads going after their Republican counterparts. House Oversight Committee ranking member Jerry Connolly, in a letter first obtained by Axios, cited new whistleblower allegations that DOJ is putting SSA benefits and American sensitive data at risk, making changes to the agency staff and technology that have already degraded operations, leaving beneficiaries unable to access basic services and potentially disrupting Social Security payments. Also planning a massive overhaul of the agency's IT systems called SSA 2.0 with almost no advanced planning or transparency. And building a massive database using data from the SSA and other agencies, including the IRS and Department of Health and Human Services. What he's saying. So Connolly asked the agency's Assistant Inspector General for Audit, Michelle Anderson, to investigate whether they are prepared for these changes and taking the necessary steps to protect sensitive information. The probe, he said, should include an accounting of virtually all of DOJ's actions related to Social Security to date, and spokespeople for the Trump administration and Social Security Administration's Office of Inspector General did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So I think this is pretty understandable. You know, like if DOJ is making a bunch of changes, why not have a little bit more transparency? So I guess politicians as well as the people could see exactly what's being done with Social Security, because we're hearing that I guess illegal immigrants, 130-year-olds are on Social Security, fraud, all that. But why not just see the exact information, of course, excluding Social Security numbers and sensitive information. But I think this is pretty fair, especially since DOJ is talking about transparency, making good changes. I think they just need to do a better job of gaining the people's trust. We have half the country trusting DOJ, Musk, and Trump, the other half not trusting them. So we just need to gain more trust, because I think we could all agree the system needs a big overhaul of change from the archaic, bureaucratic red tape system. So definitely need to change. Just need to gain a little bit more trust as well. Also, let's go over this. Social Security increase latest COLA prediction. What role will tariffs play? Well, we're going to get into this, but first let's take a listen to Senator Grassley holding a town hall meeting on Social Security.
Grassley, I would like to ask about the cuts in SNAP benefits on the Farm Bill.
You start over again.
Yes, Senator Grassley, I would like to ask about any reduction in SNAP benefits that are going to be attached to the Farm Bill. I've heard there's been talk about them going back to pre-pandemic levels. I'd also like to know if you're planning on protecting the expansion of Medicaid benefits for Iowans under the ACA, the vouchers.
If your answer is that possible, that could happen, the answer is yes, because it's one of the things that's listed on the agenda as a possibility of saving money, but there's no certainty at this point that that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be part of the Farm Bill, and we haven't even started on the Farm Bill yet.
I think she was asking if you are going to stand up for it.
Are you going to support the cuts to the SNAP?
Would you consider having, for able-bodied people, having work requirements?
Sir, I work at a grocery store.
I'd like to,
and
I'm asking you,
people.
would you give me your opinion on a question I have that'd be important
Yes,
for me
Senator.
to hear your opinion? Would you consider a work requirement for able-bodied people 30 to 59 years old to be, and that would save money? Would you consider that
No, that
wrong?
sounds like waste, fraud, and abuse.
Okay,
That
well, then
sounds like waste for sure.
I'm glad to hear that.
Disabled body.
That you
They said it was going to cost more to oversee that program.
Are you going to increase childcare support so they can afford to go to work?
Okay, the next thing here is national security. Anybody? No, I've called on you and
I've got questions.
There's one thing I think that you could do without having to introduce a bill or do anything else is to stand up for the people in this country.
Yes.
We've all paid into our Social Security.
Yes.
Our employers paid into it. We paid into Medicare. Stop the use of the word entitlement. That would be one step that if you just use the right language, this is not an entitlement. We're not getting this because we exist. We're getting it because of the faith we put in the country, the Treasury, every legislator, that we would pay into our Social Security. We would have it when we retired. We paid into Medicare. All of our employers and self-employed people paid double. They paid the employer part. So farmers, anybody who did this. So stop the use of the word entitlement because it's insulting to all of us.
Earned benefit.
Every
Yeah, there you
single
go.
person elected to Congress should stop the use of that word and
Good
insist
idea.
that it not be used.
It's an earned
And when you,
benefit.
somebody 30 years old to 59 has to prove that they're working, that they're worth the benefits they get, but we can't talk about taxing the ultra-rich because we might be losing money on somebody that's getting food stamps in a town like this. Where are they going to work? How are they going to prove
You gotta have
that
jobs.
they have a job and the transportation to go get those jobs? So, I mean,
Childcare.
I think the general population is sick and tired of hearing about the tax cuts for the wealthy, the ultra wealthy, the uber rich, whatever you want to call them. When you start nitpicking about whether some single mom or single dad or somebody with somebody in prison is getting $70 too much food stamps, it doesn't even buy you anything at the grocery store.
If you're asking me if we're going to cut Social Security, no. And I wouldn't hope that you'd even worry about that when you have both Biden and Trump running the campaign that we're not going to cut Social Security.
I asked if you could stop using the word entitlement, admit that we paid into it, and just fund it fully. And do whatever taxing you have to do at the top.
Exactly.
Why should somebody reach 200,000, 250,000 a year and say, I don't have to pay Social Security taxes on that anymore, when I have to pay it for every dime I ever earned because I never earned over that amount.
Okay.
So fund Social Security.
Congress needs to get rid of fingers out of it.
Related, Senator?
Stop using it as a slush
She's
fund.
asking me to not use the word entitlement. That's a pretty good request from any constituent.
Thank you.
In that particular regard.
Okay,
Privatize it.
Take Social Security or how that works?
anybody here?
You can see he was not having a good day there. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. So let's get into this COLA and what role will tariffs play? So just to refresh your memory, this year's COLA was 2.5%. Now the Senior Citizens League, with their prediction, pretty accurate. They said the COLA will be 2.3%, so even lower than the 2.5%. So it looks like the COLA keeps going lower and lower, but I don't see the prices of everything getting just as low. You know, things are still pretty expensive. Although they are going down, things are not cheap like they used to be pre-pandemic. So that's the COLA. The question is, will the tariffs impact inflation for next year's increase, right? So we could see it a little higher if the COLAs, if the tariffs increase things and inflation is higher, we could see a higher COLA, but then everything else is expensive anyway. So what you want is a higher COLA and lower cost of goods, right? We need a little bit of a buffer so that people on Social Security can actually buy things. So coming from the Senior Citizens League saying, while the TSCL supports Trump's goals of returning manufacturing and strategic production to American shores, we can't accept the short-term consequences for seniors. We call on the administration to immediately make exceptions to the tariffs for drugs, medical equipment, and essential everyday goods that many seniors already struggle to afford. Along with most economists, the Senior Citizens League expects the new tariffs to lead to higher inflation. Our COLA model will likely reflect in coming months as the CPIW and other economic indicators respond to new import tax policies. So I got a solution. Why not just give higher Social Security checks? Give higher payments, switch it from the CPIW to the CPIE, since it's a totally different class of people on Social Security, living a different way than workers. So I think that could be a solution as well. But at the moment, it's a measly 2.3%. It needs to be a lot higher, at least 10% or higher. Let me know down in the comments below, what percent higher should the COLA be for next year, or in general, maybe 10 to 15%. Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should really use. If you're like the pool or something and like you get hurt or something, you should just try your best, because sometimes that happens to me too, and it's not really fun. But if you got hurt like that one time, I'm sure you could deal with it, and you can be strong and powerful like how you are. So, bye! Hope you have a great day.
Millions of Americans are going to receive $500 checks. I go over exactly who these millions of Americans are in this video, so click that video now to see who's getting the new $500 check. Also, I'll let you know the latest of what the Republicans are saying about the fraud in Social Security with a video clip. So click that video now and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.